What we are having here, those are local chicks, purely local, no crossbred, and they are 1 month old. And I have been raising them together with these ones, as you can see. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you how I was able to successfully raise local chickens for 1 month together with the broilers of 1 month as well. I know I've broken all the rules in poultry farming, all the protocol, but who says we should break the rules? We want to multiply and realize and make local poultry farming something profitable. And by the way, these days the government is pushing for local chickens. Like the government wants people to commercialize the rearing of local poultry breeds more than the broilers, the layers, and other breeds of chickens. So these are 10 local chickens or local chicks, and I realized zero mortality. I didn't have any mortality. There were 10. They were hatched 10, and I have not realized any mortality. How was I able to do that? When their mother gave birth to them, I immediately withdrew them from the mother. I vaccinated them, and I brought them to the same brooder with the other breed. That's broilers. So what I made sure both types of birds are vaccinated, like fully vaccinated, so that there is no disease spread. And if there is any disease spread, there is control, or there is a guard protect them against all those diseases. I made sure all my birds are vaccinated when I was brooding them. So that brings me to the next point. How did I control the temperature? Because these are two different breeds of chickens. They require different temperature levels. So how did I do that? The local ones, because they don't require too much heating, but they were a bit younger. Remember, they were 8 days younger. That means they needed higher amount of temperature compared to the broilers, because the broilers were now a bit older. That means I was able to balance. Like, it was a win-win. These ones, the amount of the broilers they needed of temperature, it was the same requirement the local ones needed, because they were young. So when I was brooding, it kind of balanced, because these ones were younger than the other ones, like by 8 days. And it really worked out so well for me. I didn't realize any problems when it came to brooding. I made sure I first vaccinated these chicks. I gave them the initial vaccine of Newcastle, and then, however, I didn't vaccinate them against Malex, because Malex doesn't affect the broilers. It only affects local chicks. I created some boundaries because, they have different social behaviors. The local ones are super active, and the broiler ones are a bit docile. So I made sure I created some kind of a line, and the broilers grow fast, so they increase in size like very fast. When they grew up, these small ones, like the local ones, they wanted to explore more. Like, they are local chickens, they enjoy a lot of activity. They're not used to just be kept in like the same environment. So they were jumping their box, and they could join the other ones. So what was happening was that whenever they could jump and join the broilers, because now they were mature, they started pecking on them. Why did I do that? Because, I was experimenting. And I didn't really have that much attention. I didn't have the time to care for the local ones and also care for the broiler ones. I was like, it's going to be too much work for me, and I needed all the birds. So in our farm right now, we are having 5 laying birds in here. Okay, 3 haven't started laying. This one, it hatched yesterday, hatched 8 eggs. I gave it 8, and it was 100% hatched. So let's transfer them to their permanent coop. I hope they like it. I'm not sure they will like it, but they will have to, because this is not where they will be staying forever. Someone might be wondering where the initial occupants. The initial occupants, I moved them down, and they are having huge fights there, but they will be fine. They will be okay. They'll have to adjust. So someone may be wondering, what were you feeding them? Of course, the local chickens and the broilers, they require different nutritional needs in their diets. The broilers require a lot of protein, like high protein content in their diet. But surprisingly, I was actually feeding them on the same type of food, starting from the pellets, because my mind tells me that these are young chicks and they have the same needs. They need the proteins, they need other nutrients in their growing up. So I didn't bother to differentiate their feeds. I gave them the same food. However, the consumption levels, the broilers eat a lot. They drink a lot compared to the local ones. That's why they had different feeders, they had different drinkers, like everything was different for them. Because I had separated them to create that kind of, they were not in direct contact. Now the challenge I'm going to face is that this one is, because it's the smallest, it was the last one to be hatched, so it keeps moving out, I don't know how I'm going to solve that problem, but I will eventually solve it. So here they are. That was how I was able to. Of course, in poultry, there are rules. And I'm not saying that you follow what I did, but me, I'm a creative person. I don't want my mind to be confined to certain rules. This is nature, and these are birds. They can adjust just like humans, and here they are. They are very healthy, and they really look good. This one wants to, to jump out. I told you they are very active, compared to the broiler ones, and I think they're going to like it here. I'll put some patches for them so that they can patch on. Yeah, that's what I plan on doing. They're going to disturb me a little for some days until they stabilize in their new chicken house. Okay, so this means if you're a poultry farmer, your mind has to be like working 24/7. You need to be coming up with new things every other day. I'm not saying that you start mixing local chickens and broilers at the same time. You get problems. If you want to do that, do it with a lot of precautions. There's a risk for diseases. Remember, these birds grow very fast. They have different nutritional requirements. I mean, they're totally different. So these are 2 days old. I'm brooding them around the fireplace. So they're getting enough heat. I gave them glucose for their first day, and that's their pellet. Why am I having this one here? This one got some problem, like that disease that attacks broilers, leg weakness. So because I can't put it anywhere else, I've decided to put it among these ones. I don't know if it's a mistake, but there is no other way, and it's fine because it's getting the food at the same level and the water the same level as these ones. So these ones are 2 days old, and I'm brooding them around the fireplace. So it's another way you can brood your chicks. You can create a space for them around the fire area and keep them there until they grow bigger. They outgrow the place. So the mother is going to start laying within a few days, about 9 to 10 days, it will start laying other eggs. So these ones are 8. So 8 plus 10 plus 5 plus 8 plus another 8, and then we have another one here. The mother hen, this is the mother, the queen mother. This is the mother hen. She's sitting on the eggs. I gave her 11 eggs. Let's see. So she'll be hatching around December. So yeah, so that's an update on my poultry and my poultry farm.